with me. Everyone has a reason to live. I live for revenge.
I am an artist.
The sword is my brush. Vengeance is my muse.
We're at Gamescom to find out about a game that I heard a long time ago about, called Blade and Soul. It's been a pretty long journey for European gamers who might have been interested in it a few years back. Can you tell us what kind of game is Blade and Soul, and sort of what the journey has been like?
All right, so Blade and Soul is a martial arts MMO. So it has a very strong wuxia theme. If you don't know what wuxia is, think of the real kind of Chinese literature that really kind of focuses on the personal journey of specifically around revenge and vengeance. And the story of Blade and Soul is that your master gets killed by this lovely woman, Jin Se-yoon, and so you have to go on this journey of vengeance to try and honor your master and what happened with the death in the clan. So along the way, you pick up martial arts activities and skills and combos that really kind of make the action, the combat within the system very, very dynamic. So, you know, your enemies will counter you, you'll block them, and it's very high paced and very action oriented. And along the way, you can engage in sort of activities like wind walk, which is if you've ever seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you know, when they glide across the lake, or if they kind of bounce around in the bamboo, you have similar sorts of movement activities within the game, which makes it really interesting and really fun to just sit there and soar through the sky, run across water, run up walls, and all sorts of fun things.
Very different for an MMO, but it is an MMO as well, like with deep systems and all the things you'd expect.
Yes, it is. So within the MMO environment, we have a lot of social activities. Right now, we're kind of focusing on factions. So within the game, you have the ability to join a faction, either the Cerulean Alliance or the Crimson Legion, and doing so, you engage in PvP-based combat within other people. And so you just, when you fly for PvP, you put on the costume. And this costume is not going to affect your stats or anything along those lines. Those stats are actually involved in another system called the Soul Shield. But putting on the costume puts you on the fly for PvP, and you can engage and fight with other people. And as soon as you're tired with it, you just take it off, and you can go off on your merry way back into the environment. So that's one of the PvP ways, and we're also looking at more structured PvP, like 1v1 arenas, 3v3 tag teams, and hopefully sometime in the future, the 6v6 matches that we have available in Korea.
Speaking of Korea, because the game launched there a while back, and it sort of made its way over to Europe. Are you changing anything up, or are there any tweaks that you're doing to the game other than localizing it?
Yeah, we're customizing it for the West audience, and so that you kind of referred to what's been, you know, you've heard about it for a while ago, and so the main reason why it's taken a lot of time is that we're not just wanting to localize it, and not just slapping on a different language and saying, okay, here it is. We're making sure that the version that we're presenting for the West is the version that best works for the West. So we're going to be, right now we're kind of exploring different features in terms of, you know, amount of experience that you gain, the leveling curve, the amount of gold that you obtain, various little features, little tweaks that make the experience, you know, best customized for the Western audience. But the biggest change, obviously, that we have is it's a free-to-play model. So in other regions, their business model is tailored to their particular climate. We decided that free-to-play is what works best for the Western environment, and it's free-to-play. It's not pay-to-win. So we're avoiding all instances of purchasing for power, purchasing for stats. Anything that we're providing is all for convenience and cosmetic items. So you can purchase costumes, you can purchase inventory slots, character slots, etc., but none of it's pay to win.
It sounds like it's actually kind of nicely catered to that, because you're not putting on something cosmetic, just, you know, it doesn't really matter with the stats anyway, so you can sort of afford to go nuts with that if you want to.
Yeah, so Blade and Soul is absolutely gorgeous in its artwork. There's like hundreds and hundreds of costumes that you can put on, and it's not tied to your abilities. As I said, the Soul Shield is an 8-point medallion that as soon as you equip that is what dictates your statistics. But what you wear is completely not at all related to what your statistics are going to be. So you can run around in this giant jacket, or in this beautiful flowing robe, or anything that you so desire, fire and will have no effect, but you look really, really good. So, which is very important.
Of course it is. So what's the road ahead with Blade and Soul here for us in the West? What's left to do? Will there be a beta? What's the rollout?
All right, so Founders Packs come out August 18th, and so we have 3 different tiers of Founders Packs. Your basic tier will give you guaranteed access to CBT as well as our head start before we launch. Our middle tier will give you a bunch of other additional benefits, and then of course our Master tier gives you the very cool exclusive costumes, weapon skins, and all sorts of fun stuff that goes along with it. CBT happens later on in the fall, and we will launch in Q1 of 2016, whereas previously we've said it was in winter. Now we're a little bit narrowing it down. It's Q1 2016.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.